James at Ohio University in Athens. Thank you. Questions, ask you to do at least two things. Number one, I don't want to put him on the spot, but I really believe that on this campus should be a huge statue of Lyndon Baines Johnson. He kicked off the wrong poverty in this place on this campus. Then you look at your Child Nutrition Act, LBJ, food stamps, 44 million, LBJ, higher minimum wage for poor people, LBJ. Your right to vote, LBJ. Does he deserve a statue?
Oh, yeah.
And you should study his vision. We're somewhere between the Camelot of the Kennedys and the war. We've left the guy out who in fact was the substance that laid the groundwork for today's opportunities. Now I want to thank you for gathering. I want you to also today register and vote. You cannot become cynical about voting. So I must not become cynical about voting. My non-vote is a vote against my interests. Often, votes are based upon narrow choices. But so long as I have a choice, I should vote. I choose the 13th Amendment or the 10th Amendment. I have choices. I must make this land better for you and me. Q&A. By the way, do we have a voter registrar here? Because I asked for one. Do we have a voter registrar here? If you are not a registered voter, raise your hand. Be fair with me. You are not a registered voter, raise your hand real high. You are a registered voter, raise your hand real high. You are registered. If your hand not up, raise your hand higher. Question.
Can we get you to stand behind the mic?
Behind the mic, there ain't no mic. That's a problem.
No, it's going to our report.
Okay, sir.
A good point about what the problems are. What can you give us some pointed solutions that you have?
Let's start with what's doable. What's doable is we have the capacity to wipe out malnutrition now. Overproductive agricultural system, we can first start by wiping out malnutrition because malnutrition undermines our ability to do other things. It starts with feeding the hungry. Secondly, those students in school, so many poor children, need dental care, and reading glasses and hearing assistance now. It must be, because if you're going to have a plan to raise to the top and rise to the top, those who do not have dental care or glasses or hearing assistance can't get that. That's the second thing. The third thing is begin to reinvest in America. Pull back on that war budget. Begin to reinvest in America now. Pull back on the war budget. We're finding more and more getting less and less returns. The third thing would be a reconstruction plan for houses destroyed by bank exploitation. Not only do you put people back in the house, you also create jobs. You look at the number of homes that are foreclosed. If you remove those boards and put in panes, window panes, begin to build those houses, you put the trade skilled workers back to work. I would think lastly, a part of that is the bailout communities. We have a plan right now to bail out Kabul and to bail out Iraq. Let's bail out America. And I would think that the reason folks in Appalachia, because you have, if you have the will, in this region, you have the numbers and the need to pray to change America. If Appalachia does not vote, then you're reinforcing poverty. If you vote your interest, you change the course. If you do vote against your own interest, how can somebody without health insurance Another decent house. You voted for tax cuts for billionaires. It does not stand to reason. How can you, without facing 30% unemployment, vote for corporate leaders to make more money than the corporation pays in taxes and they get a refund? Say voting, matters. Voting matters. Voting in your own interest matters more. So often poor people have been led to believe that they should vote for a set of interests that's incoherent with what their real needs are. I was in a church some time ago, and they were arguing about abortion and arguing about gay marriage. And that was the prevailing moral argument at the time. And so I said, how many of you in this church support Medicare? The hands went up. Support Medicaid? The hands went up. You support raising minimum wage? Hands went up. Support fair banking? The hands went up. You need a job? Hands went up. I said, how many of you have ever been to a same-sex wedding? None of us. I said, well, how'd that get on the agenda? Why are you discussing what ain't in your line of survival? Say, discuss and debate what's in your primary line of survival. I say because you've got many people who